Hello, this is the relation of employment and major crimes in Santa Clara County. Presenting this presentation will be Drew Verma, John Velez, and Ken Nguyen. The connection between these two statistics. With major crimes increasing in frequency around the country, there is a correlation between crime and employment levels. One might assume criminal activity increases with rising unemployment, but does the data really support that? I mean, on a general sense, there is a common relationship that plays a role in the amount of crimes that happen and the unemployment status that may affect one's decisions to commit major crimes. Now, as we dive deeper into this presentation, we will examine the correlation between criminal activity and employment levels in Santa Clara County. To start us off, the pandemic era, which was known for the shutdown, firearm crimes increased by 9.2% during the pandemic. And the homicide death rate jumped nearly 30%, which was an insane amount. And then we have the unemployment rates that reached a peak of 14.8%.
The potential links are motivational effect. Unemployment as a financial hardship can spur on the motivation to turn into crime. And the opportunity cost, when in unemployment long term, can lead to decision making that involves black market goods or services. And property theft increases in burglary and car theft as well.
So in regards to the data, the employment data was sourced from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. The Santa Clara County violent crime data was sourced from the State of California Department of Justice. This crime data includes homicide, rape, robbery, and aggravated assault, and all of the specific items that exist within those categories. This model examines the time periods between 2014 to 2023. And the data variables include total crimes in the county and total unemployed/employed people in Santa Clara County. So for the methodology, the two regression models determine the correlation between changes in violent criminal activity and employment levels. This was completed by inputting yearly data of total crimes and their corresponding employment levels in that year in Santa Clara County into Excel. And then we use the Excel data analysis tool to build the actual regression model. The models revealed a surprising weak correlation between unemployment and violent crimes, but a strong connection between employment and violent crimes. So for the crime versus unemployment model, the multiple R value was 0.295, which indicates a weak relationship. The p-value was 0.407, which is greater than 0.05, so it's not statistically significant either. And the R square was 8.7%, meaning that only 8.7% of variation can be explained by unemployment. The crime versus employment model, however, the multiple R was 0.88, which is a strong positive correlation. The p-value was 0.0007, which is a lot less than 0.05, so it is statistically significant. And the R square was 77.5%, which means that much percent of variation in crime can be explained by unemployment. For the sensitivity analysis, we generated a similar model with San Diego County data. We also used their employment and crime data from the same time period of 2014 to 2023. For the San Diego model, the multiple R was 0.796, which is a strong positive correlation. The R square was 63.4%, which is a high explanatory power. And the p-value was 0.00588, which is less than 0.05, so statistically significant. And as you can see, the trend lines run pretty parallel to each other. So
In summary, violent crimes correlate more with employment than non-unemployment, likely tied to the income inequality in growing urban areas, since not everyone could benefit equally from the job growth. Our recommendations are is to stay vigilant. It's important to stay vigilant in more urban areas with high employment rates. We should invest in community safety programs or law enforcement at a parallel rate to employment growth. Rising employment often leads to income inequality, which leads to crime. So counties should invest into affordable housing, social services, and many more. Lastly, the model could be used to analyze crime trends during massive economic changes and allocate resources appropriately.
These are our sources and references for the data that we've collected for this presentation. We appreciate you taking the time to listen, and that brings our presentation to an end. Thank you.